Would you rather meet a movie star or vampire? Meeting either one would be so cool. I could never choose. Luckily, I didn't have to. I met both the same night. Before I tell you about that, I should say who am I and stuff. My name is Zack. I'm 10 and a half and I go to the Horace Hyde White School for Boys in New York City. My parents are divorced, so I and I are mostly and I mostly live with my dad. The things that happen to me are probably a lot wider than those that happen to you, unless you ever run into Bigfoot at summer camp, or started turning into a cat, or watched your grandma become a teenager. The thing I want to tell you started at the opening of a new horror movie at the theater in Times Square. It was on a Friday. The movie was Dracula Sucks. It starred this real old European horror movie actor named Mela Lugosi as Count Dracula, the vampire. You might remember him from some of his other movies like Bats in the Butterfly, Don't Count on Dracula, Coffee Medicine, and Thanks for Everything. Spencer and I love horror movies, and I have always been a big fan of Mela Lugosi. One of my favorite parts of Mela Lugosi was when he fought Mommy at the end of Mommy Dearest. Anyway, the opening was a pretty big deal. They had searchlights and crowd of people and camera crews from the local TV stations. Mela Lugosi was coming from in Transylvania, or whenever he hangs out. Everybody who came to the opening was supposed to wear a costume. There were going to be prizes for the best ones. First prize was dinner with Mela Lugosi himself. I figured we didn't have any chance of winning, but it turned out not too many people wore costumes. Probably they were embarrassed or something. Spencer and I decided to go with bags of blood, the kind they always have in the ER on hospital TV shows. We wore these big plastic bags with places for our heads, arms, and legs to stick out. The bags were painted red. In big letters on the tops of the bags, we had our blood types. Spencer's blood is type O, mine is type A double positive, which they says is really rare. Ushers led us past velvet ropes into the front of the theater. We marched up on the stage before the movie began. The audience applauded for the costumes they liked best. 3 judges to decide who got the most applause. One was Mela Lugosi. He wore a tuxedo and a cape, just like in his movies. His hair was white, but he looked pretty perky for an old guy. I heard Lugosi is really a vampire, I whispered to Spencer. Zack said Spencer. There's no such thing as vampires. How can you be so sure? I said. Because as I said Spencer, I read up on and I know Spencer is probably the smartest kid in the whole state of New York. So if you disagree with him, you'd better have some pretty good proof. The audience really liked the costumes that Spencer and I wore. They clapped and shouted for us. The judges gave us first prize. We were going to have dinner after the show with Mela Lugosi. Then came to the movie, Dracula Sucks. It was good, even though it was a lot like other Mela Lugosi's movies. After the movie, we went back to Dad's apartment to change out of our costumes. We were pretty excited about winning the dinner with Mela Lugosi. When we told Dad about our dinner, he was pretty excited too. How the heck can you go to dinner with Mela Lugosi tonight? He said. Grandma Lee is coming in from Chicago. Well, maybe you could pick up Grandma at the airport, and then you could come back and get us at Mela Lugosi's hotel, I said. We definitely finished right then, Dad shied, which meant he was going to let me go. From somewhere he heard a distant rumble of thunder that dropped us in front of the hotel. "I'll be back in 2 hours to pick you up," said Dad, assuming the rain doesn't slow me down. Spencer and I entered the hotel. We went back. We went up in the elevator and knocked on Bugasi's door. A butler guy opened it. "Please," said the butler. He had a funny accent. "We are Zack and Spencer," I said, "the winners of the costume contest." "One moment, please," said the butler. He disappeared. About a minute later, Mr. Bugosi came to the door. I couldn't believe we were standing face to face with the famous Mela Bugosi himself. This man was a movie star. At first I had trouble talking. How do you do, sir?" I said. Remember us? The winners of costume contest? I'm Zack, and this is Spencer." "Oh, good evening, Zog and Spencer," said Bugosi. "Good evening." He spoke with a very heavy accent. He was wearing the same black tuxedo cape he wore at the opening. He seemed a little disappointed. "I thought you were going to wear your wonderful costumes to dinner," he said. "I love your costumes. I love them." "Thank you," I said, "but they were too uncomfortable to wear for dinner. Plus which, we thought bags of blood at dinner might be, kind of gross." "Gross?" said Bugosi. "What mean?" "Creepy," said Spencer. "Creepy?" Bugosi repeated. What could be creepy about bags of blood? Blood is lovely. Blood is beautiful, no?" Yeah, okay," I said. I looked at Spencer. He rolled his eyes. The thunder rumbled again in the distance. Then the butler waved us into Bugosi's hotel suite. There were black draperies over all the windows. The walls were painted black. There were black carpets on the floors. Just about everything in the suite was black. Maybe they developed film here and were black candles all over the place. The only light came from the candles. The mirror above the fireplace was covered up with the black clothes. "Look at the mirror," I whispered to Spencer. "Vampires don't show up in mirrors, in case of you didn't know." "Because he's not a vampire," Spencer whispered back. Because they took each of us by an elbow and led us into the living room. So I said, "It's really an honor for us to be here, Mr. Bugosi." "It is Count Bugosi," he corrected me. "But that is not important. You may call me Your Excellency, and it is I who am honored by your presence. Never have I seen such lovely costumes." "Thank you, Your Excellency," said. Bugosi nodded. The butler came into the living room. Would the young gentleman like a drink before dinner?" he asked. "Sure," I said. "Can I get Dr. Pepper?" Count Bugosi frowned. "You wish to see a Dr. Zook?" he said worriedly. "You are feeling sick?" No, I'm fine," I said. "Then why you wish Dr. Pepper?" "Dr. Pepper," Spencer corrected him. "Not Pepper, Pepper. It's a pepper, it's a drink." "Ah, drink," said the Count. He turned to the butler. "Pavlov, do we have such a drink by a name, Dr. Pepper?" "Pepper, no, Your Excellency." "Ah," said the Count. "That sucks." Outside it began to rain. I heard the raindrops patter against the window panes. When we went into the dining room for dinner, as soon as I sat down, I realized I had to go to the bathroom. "Your Excellency, can you tell me where to find the John?" I asked. The Count frowned. "You wish to visit a person by the name of John?" he asked. Why do you not wait until after dinner, Zog?" "Oh, John is not a person," I said. Said Bugosi. "John is drink?" "No," I said. "In this country, we sometimes call the toilet the John. I want to go to the toilet. Do you have a toilet here? Of course we have toilet here, Doc. You think we do our business under the table? Said the countess started laughing that creepy har laugh of his. The toilet is down the hall and to the right. Thanks, Your Excellency, they said. I went down the hall and turned right. I had to go through the bedroom to get the bedroom. Right opposite the bed was a minibar. I love minibars. I wondered if there could be any Dr. Peppers in here. I opened the door and looked inside. No candy, just 20 cans of tomato juice, labeled type B positive and type A negative. Yikes! This was not tomato juice. I was staring at 20 cans of blood. Was the count a real vampire? If so, what were Spencer and I doing trapped in his hotel suite? And how could we get out of there before he decides to take a bite out of us?